All right. Yeah, Moon Magic Mondays, you guys. Moon Magic Monday, y'all know we coming up on a full moon. The full moon is in 2 days. Hopefully you got your moon magic and you got your intentions lined up, right? Have you guys been tapping into that? Who is this? All right. I want to see who this is. It's Israel. Okay, you gonna laugh out. Yeah. So who has been any you guys got your intentions in order? No? Yeah. All right. That shit ain't gonna wait on you. All right. Antonio said he got his. Okay. Yeah, get them ready. You got 2 days to the new moon, and the new moon will begin. I want to say it's on the 18th and the 19th and the 20th. Speed those intentions and watch what come to life. But remember, you have to stay focused on those intentions. Stay focused on them. Right? Keep them at the frontal lobe of your conscious. Even if you got to come up with a mantra, a rhythmic song, like I said, go to the AI, ask the AI to assist you, and utilize it to your advantage. You know, repetition is the key. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. Yeah, that probably lined up for you. That lined up. That's for you. That's your reality. You know, those are just subtle signs or sims that are put in your field of awareness, so you will know you're on the right track, and stay on it. I got the same two intentions. I used them last month. The month before that, I used a different intention. But I was like, let me go back to what I was doing, and I'm gonna just stay on my same intention. And it's just opening up my reality. You know, I'm pretty much molding the reality the way that I want it to go. Right, my reality. Not the reality at large. Um, and it's happening. Like the wind been blowing real crazy here for the last 2 days. I put that Lord of Labradorite. I projected some hickers into it. I projected them hickers into the sun, and I laid them in the grass. That shit almost took my fence off. It just snapped the traffic lights in the neighborhood. People's trampolines blowing out their backyard. The wind is blowing crazy. Right? The wind blowing crazy out there right now. It's been doing that the last 3 days. It's been doing it so much, I had to take the pieces out the grass. But it's extremely windy here. It's starting to pull shingles off the roof. And for those that know about labradorite, that is dealing with the element of wind, right? That's his element. It's wind and storms. It can handle all type of storms. So when it said bed, when you put the labradorite around your neck, what happens is you're going to be able to overcome all type of adversities, all type of storms that come your way. And it also deals with magic. So say like we're using the moon magic. Labradorite is a very essential piece to have, especially when orchestrating manifestations or materializations. You want to have these things incorporated into your reality, you know, and as you do, all of this stuff starts to work for you. But again, you have to make sure that it is priority number one. You have to prioritize it, prioritize everything accordingly, then it will all come out in symmetrical order, right? That's what the synchronicities is for, so you can align yourself with the symmetrical order of things. Is prompting you and letting you know, like, stay on this path right here, because the crows is going to come, as we talk about with the moon magic. The crows going to come into the picture. They're going to try to rain on your parade. They're going to distract you. They're going to detract you and take you void of course, right? But you still have the ability to course correct. So don't give up on yourself if you should adhere, uh, to a circumstance that requires the crows to show they ass. You know, still persevere through that shit, right? And sometimes it might take more. It depends on where you at. That's why that's one of the main going themes now is for meditation. How many of you guys struggle with meditation? Let me get a thumbs up if you're struggling with meditation. All right, we got some damn Jedis up in here then. If you're not struggling with meditation, then you should be able to find your two intentions and focus on them things, man. Cultivate them. Cultivate your intentions. As I told you guys in the live on TikTok, existence is conspiring with you, or whatever you got, you cooking up, good, bad, or indifferent. They don't know. Same thing for your subconscious mind. It's just recording everything. So think positive. That's one of my intentions is thinking positive. Like, man, just keep thinking positive. That's that my internal is perpetually think positive. You know what I mean? And my external will work itself out long as I consistently, perpetually stay positive, think positive, be positive, speak positive, feel positive, and more positivity will come, right? It's very, I do my best to keep it as simple as possible. That way it's quite applicable for it to personify as I consistently do it, right? In situations or scenarios, keep popping up to test. At first, it was testing to see if I was going to stay positive. Now it's to the point to where it's like, okay, this is a positive result. This comes from positive intention, positive energy, right? And just staying positive and keeping things on a positive wavelength and getting those positive results. All it does is empower you to move forward and take more positive steps towards positive goals, right? That's keeping the positivity at the frontal lobe. And that's just one of my intentions, right? My other intention is to turn my yearly income into my monthly income. And although that hasn't quite happened yet, guess what? All of the necessary components that need to be in play for it to happen has already started personifying. It's been doing it the whole time and it's still doing it right now, right? And that's the approach that you take with your moon magic. Because as I said, it only takes 6 months to change the course of your whole life in 6 months. And I use myself as an example, and y'all gonna see right in real time. But it's just staying positive, keeping it at the frontal lobe of your consciousness. Yeah, you could do everything else, but prioritize you first and harness that energy, right? And start channeling that energy into the reality that you're building, right? It's one thing to talk about it, it's a whole nother thing to take action on it, right? And to do something about it. And if you fall off the horse, so what? Get back on that motherfucker again. The horses stand up. It ain't gonna lay down until it's time for it to die. Until then, it's gonna stay on all fours. All right? It's gonna stand tall for your ass. So if you fall off of it, it's waiting for you to get back on it. You know, and you could do it. You got what it takes. It's just trusting and believing in you, and realize that everything outside your peripheral vision is just an amalgamation of molecules and atoms. So it's presenting itself in an illusionary, illusory, I can't even say the word, an illustrious, in an illusory form, right? So as you looking at it, even just say this unk, for example. Yeah, it's an unk there, but I know it's just a bunch of atoms and molecules, electrons, protons, and neutrons, right? Even though it do look like an unk, and it is an unk, I still I had to acknowledge the reality of what it truly is. And when you put yourself on these type of frequencies, things start unveiling itself into your reality in that same way, so that you can get a literal aspect of who you are, or what you're doing, or what you're exercising. Right now we're doing the moon magic. And like I said, your meditation, when you get to the meditation level of it, it's very important, right? It's very important to meditate on those things, because then your subconscious mind is totally convinced that you really want this to happen. And that 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 frequency that you want starts moving through the grid, right? Starts moving through the grid system, and all of a sudden everything is popping off for you. Like you didn't even think it could happen. Like, oh man, this shit is really happening. But still keep going through the phases. Don't negate from the phases, and you'll get the harvest. Right? You'll get in the bragging phase where you get to show off. I just wanted to show you guys a picture of some grids. Get a full context of what I'm talking about here. I know y'all know it. Some of y'all, but just for those that might not know. Okay, there we go. That's the one I wanted. All right. Now here's an example of the grid. Uh, you see that? Now, if you look at all those horizontal lines, imagine a horizontal line going across the gap in this image. And these are the grid lines that you're connecting to. So let's just say you operating. Can y'all see that cursor? Somebody thumb up if you can see the cursor. No, I can't see the cursor. All right, but anyway, let's just say the lower part of this grid is representing lower thoughts, negative thoughts, and the higher end is representing positive thoughts. Man, shit be going fucked up for me. You're gonna connect to a grid line that's gonna symmetrically align you with things being fucked up for you. You hear me? Now, across these grid lines, you might have something that's called grid lock. And what grid lock is, that don't mean that you're being blocked. That just means that it's a whole bunch of people that's on that particular grid line. You're not the only one that's having those thoughts, those words, and those actions. So as you go across that grid line, sometimes you will encounter some form of gridlock. Some people will attempt to detour and go around the gridlock, right? Sometimes you don't have to do that. You just gotta wait in the fucking gridlock until that shit open up. And when it do open up, you Gucci. So don't get discouraged. If you know you doing all of the right things to put yourself on a certain frequency, right? Just know the gridlock is there. And in the time of that gridlock, you got enough tools in your arsenal to amplify the progression of you moving through that gridlock. But just still stay patient. Because it's like I say about, driving the car. I was just telling my son it's been a theme since last week. And I think I told Ricky that too. Shit. I'm not walking, so I'm not in a big rush to get there, especially if I'm driving. People will jump in front of you to stop at a stop sign. And it's like, yo, you ain't had to walk. You know what I mean? You're driving. So, hell, I'm going to get there when I get there. Shit. I'm not going to go 20 miles over the speed limit to make myself get there any faster. I'm getting there faster than the rate of putting one foot in front of the other. And that's sufficient enough. So as you go throughout the trials of your day and you start putting in the necessary sweat equity mentally towards your intentions and stuff like that, man, the whole grid start bending around you and your reality now. This is what this grid look like. And it's up to you. You're going to be on the lower end of the grid or the higher end. And it go all the way up in the outer space. You can connect to the grid lines there too, right? But primarily, we worried about, not even worried, but we prioritize what's going on here on the earth plane, right? And you can access these grid lines and shift to a reality that's suitable for you. That's suitable for you. You want the highest probability. You don't want to get in no car accidents. You don't want no gunshot wounds. Right? You don't want to have to get no severed limbs. And you put yourself on a trajectory for the best one possible. It's just maintaining that frequency, right? And being cognizant that that frequency is present and that you got what it takes to bring these things into materialization. And the stronger your antenna is, the more receptive you will be to higher ends of the grid or the lines in the grid throughout the spectrum. You will be able to pick up on it and not discard it. Like, oh man, let me follow that intuitive thought and stay on it and pick up those proverbial breadcrumbs as it goes along. Sometimes it's gonna breadcrumb you. Just to see, make sure that you sure, right? Just to make sure that you sure. If you don't allow yourself to get distracted or detracted, that shit is gonna come to pass. It's gonna come to pass because that's what you mostly want. You know, hell, the television will run out of shit to say to your ass. I seen it. I had the TV on yesterday. I'm like, damn, this shit came on 3 times. Something came on 3 times in a row. I was like, damn, these motherfuckers have ran out of stuff to think about, right? 3 times in the same day. I forgot what I was watching. Oh, it was just on the TV. I just had the TV on. And I seen the same thing, same program. I want to say it was on the NBA TV station. And that shit came on 3 different times. I'm like, yo, man, it keeps showing the same shit. You're going to get caught in some cycles and loops. Let it be your own, right? And then some of your cycles and loops, they need, they may have expired. And you got to get on to a new cycle and generate a new loop, right? Sometimes that be necessary as well. And as time go along, you start to outgrow certain patterns and certain loops, certain situations, scenarios, events, people, behaviors, right? That's not nothing bad. Just still keep it going. Don't stop. Keep that shit going. Keep it flowing. And then you'll see Monday will come, Tuesday will come, Wednesday will come, and it'll be on a whole different frequency. You'll be tied into a whole different network because you're on a whole different grid line now, right? That's how it go, y'all. You want to put yourself on these grid lines and maintain that frequency. Maintain it. Some people may not be able to vibrate at that frequency and function there with you. Straight up. Some people can't fuck with it like that. And they think they can, but they can't. That's just how it go. But to have your intentions lined up, get them ready. If you haven't been getting them ready from Thursday, we just talked about this Thursday. So Friday, or excuse me, Wednesday, that's when the new moon come in, the 18th. And people gonna be saying nobody even gonna talk about the new moon, but you know when the full moon is coming, and you know that you're working towards that, right? Work towards that. You got to take a picture. You got to take several pictures. If you got to put it in your screensaver or your cell phone, put it there and stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. You can do it. If you fall down and get off the horse, just get back on it, man. That's what the waning moon is for your recovery. And if you didn't hit all your markers, just trust in your efforts, right? You got to believe in what you can put out there. And you got to send it out there like that too. And that shit come right back to you. I'm telling you. I go out there with a scratch off and be like, hey, I want a scratch off to pay for everything I just paid for. Now, which one you want? Give me that one. You're like, you sure you want this? And I'm like, yeah. I just scratch off the bottom and it'd be like winner. They had me the ticket back. You won $50. I like, man, thank you. Pay for my gas, pay for my little knickknacks, and a little shit I got off the grocery store. and got all the money right back, you know. And because I said it before I did it, and I meant that shit, and I had to choose like I meant that shit. And like I said, existence is it be listening to you the whole time. It's monitoring you. It's there to co-conspire with what you put out there. Right? Which is just your conscious awareness and expansion of that awareness. If you got a golf ball size consciousness, when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have a golf ball size feeling of being awake. You know, when you take that shower in the morning, you're gonna have a golf ball size sensation. Now, if you read a book, when you read something, you'll have a golf ball size understanding of what you read. You won't get the full totality of it. So you want to expand your conscious awareness, right? The easiest way to do that is like I tell y'all, studying the physical anatomy. Also, the dictionary. You know, I was quite clear about that the other day on TikTok. Just read the dictionary. You ain't got to, I want to read the Black Law. You can do that shit if you want to. But look, just learn the fucking, you speak English, learn the meaning of the words you're using. When you want to graduate from that, go to etymology, then go to Black Law. But just start with the basic dictionary. Know the meaning of the words. Know where the word comes from, where it originated. That's good enough, right? I was talking to a being earlier, and I was telling them about etymologist should it'll just not to say it's not necessary, but it'll throw you off if you just go too far down a rabbit hole. I'm trying to negate you guys. Like I said, I teach on the curve. I'm saying we don't have to go through every minor detail of everything because it'll throw you off the path of your expansion. Because it's all about expanding, man. Not nulling over 1 or 2 points. We as radiologists, we go from A to B, or A to B to C, A to B to C to D, right? And it's like, yo, we ain't got to worry about what's all in between the 2 points. Let's just get to the fucking point. God damn it. All right. So once you got enough words, said, could you give directions for burning big guns? Yeah, I got it posted on the site. But I'm gonna tell you, uh, you got to just fold the note towards you. Let me see if I got one over here. Yeah, take the note, fold the note towards you, like that. Fold the note towards you again, like that. And fold the note over like that. I usually take the lighter and I burn it at this end, and I burn both of these, and then I sit it down like that in my pan. And you should have like flames coming up from both sides, etc. Right. Yeah. You're welcome. Go ahead, this soul.
Love and light to all. Quick question, since we're talking about burning the money. I was reading through the different notes, their descriptions, time of year, etc. At the end of the Jade Emperor, I really got to understand. I really got an understanding of why they're different and what they do. But there's a line at the very bottom where it says, Jade Emperor is benevolent and patient God. He has A3. And I was wondering if you could elaborate on what the A lower 3 meant.
Oh no, that was That was a typographical error.
Oh,
I
because
didn't
I'm
even catch
like,
that, but
okay, I
no,
know
that
mathematical formulas and I know that
no,
three dropping, but yeah,
yeah,
okay. All
yeah,
right,
that's
well
what
then
that is.
I have another question then. Um, I noticed on the Mainan Quack hell note, it says that it's a hell note, whereas all of the other notes say they're heaven notes. Can you
Mhm.
elaborate on that for me? Explain the difference and the properties.
Yes, that's an excellent question. When we say hell banknote, that's the era that her power, her energy was lent to the people of that area because the Dutch tried to come in and colonialize, the Orientals, and they used to burn the money, and they told them that they was going to hell for burning that money. And so to spite them, they started calling the money hell bank, hell bank notes. So it come from that area and time in regards to just the hell bank note, moniker. But hell bank notes, heaven bank notes, it's all to mock, you know, the Dutch colonials that tried to suppress the Southeast Asians in that time. Um, and she was one of the venerated gods. We also, the Yellow Tantra mantra, we say that a lot of times as well. But yeah, that's what that denotes with the hell bank notes. I didn't want to change it because that's the that's the vein of where she was first represented in. You know, just like the Quetzalcoatl notes. Like a lot of you guys don't know this, but Quetzalcoatl and Santa Muerte, they're the two most venerated, you know, uh, deities, if you will, or exalted beings here in the Western Hemisphere. Right? They got a lot of power, a lot of juice, if you will. A lot of say so for what go on in the Western Hemisphere. And all you had to do is know about these deities, find out about them. That's why I post the stuff that I post about uh, to familiarize you guys with who these beings are. So you definitely want to do that. And I could tell the soul you probably didn't divulge your awareness into Manon Quack. She is a wealth goddess. Um, they even had a depiction of her uh, the other day on the Oscars. I seen it. It was on the TV. I just turned the TV on, and I had some Manon Quack notes sitting on my altar. And I didn't burn those notes. I burned some other notes, but I put them back up there. And when I turned the TV on after I was finished, that shit was on the TV. That shit was just, it's I don't want to say it's wild, but it's just that's the way the shit go. It just be letting you know, like, yo, you in alignment.
That was the sim. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really speak on it, but I don't know if any of you all have ever seen me go live. There's a leather Santis Muerte over my the Soul Train station from when I
Mm,
went to Cuba. It was gifted to me. So yeah, by
mm.
my bloodline being uh, you know, quite a
Cuban.
few
Mhm.
different things going on there. She oversees my DJ station. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, yeah. Santa Miote, she's highly celebrated. More than Jesus. People don't know that. Now they done perverted her a little bit, but still that's what comes with time. They gonna try to the dark side gonna try to pervert something, but no, Santa Miote, and I can't pronounce her original, her Aztecian name, because she go back to the Aztec, you know. Her and her husband as well, who were yes, go ahead, Trenton.
So I was just curious, would you be able to say the names again so I could do some research on them if that's all right?
Yeah, go to the website and go to the go to the ancestral currency tab. I got a full write-up. I even got a write-up on the ancestor money too. Go through all of that. Everything. I don't know if you with us on the school too, but everything that I post up, y'all got to go through all of that. Go through the website. The website itself is a study guide. Yeah, go ahead, Trenton.
I was just gonna say I did a little bit of research on the website and I seen the notes. I didn't know if those were the same beings that was on those notes.
Yeah. Right up under, I got a full write up on them. But that was Quetzalcoatl and Santa Miote and Mainan Quack. Mainan Quack. Yeah, I remember the first time I did Quetzalcoatl. It was a Mexican sister on like in the downtown area. You welcome, beloved. And she was so impressed with the Quetzalcoatl notes. That she said, let me just do everything for you. She cut the notes up for me. She packaged them for me. And every time she was like, you call before you come and you tell me so I could do everything for you. She just wanted to do everything for me. You know what I mean? And I let her ass too. But I'm just, echoing what I was saying. Like, there's beings and they'll really work with you. These is deities that will work with you. But to get the optimum effect from these beings, I tell you guys, it's just to dialing in with your ancestors first. Show them that you're capable of doing that, because that's going to determine how they interface with you. You follow? So think about it. With these wealth gods, like on Friday, Maha Sri Lakshmi, man, y'all better say that Maha Sri Lakshmi. Do it 108 times. I'm telling you, this shit work. That's her day. That's her day. You better be blowing that cinnamon into the door. Do all these things. This stuff work. And as I aforementioned, existence itself is there to co-conspire with you and make sure that these things take place and personify in a capable manner. And when I say a capable manner, meaning where it can happen. She said, of course, that you will see things happen where you can see that it's capable of happening. You know what I mean? You can see the capabilities personified right in front of you, right? But you got the ability, you got the power. I'm telling you. And this new Lord of the Labradorite, I'm just telling you, I ain't just trying to sell it. I'm telling you, this shit ain't no joke. It's no joke. My psychic range is off the chain. That's what even prompted me to get hit with the staff. For those who's at the seminar, that's how I got hit with the staff. I was like, damn, you know what? I need you to hit me with that staff. I, I told the brother that before. What did he do? He had purchased some shirts. Shouts out to Carter 9K. And Carter 9K, he caught some shirts. And he kept calling me and I kept missing his call. Kept calling me, I kept missing his call. I'm like, damn. Then he kept telling me about the bird. But that bird been running at his window. It's still running at his window. But he hit me up. And we talked and chopped it up. And he, telling me about the shirts he wanted. But aside from that, I was like, yo, man, you gonna hit me with the staff. He was like, huh? I said, yeah, you gonna hit me with that staff. And I had this piece already made. I had it around my neck at that time too. I could remember it vividly because it told me to tell him, like, yo, tell him to hit you with the staff. We compared words of power and he had the right ones. And D gave me an awesome reading after after that took place. But all of that stuff was in symmetrical alignment, and primarily because I see how it's capable of happening. Right? You got to see what's you got to see what you're capable of first before these capabilities start personifying. Right? What strengthens those promptings is your meditations. Right? Staying in meditation mode all the way to the point I could get very meditative. Before I even got on here, I went into that shit again. I really got caught up. I really got caught up about 30 minutes. I was like, damn, I'm tripping again. And I started messing with the Photoshop stuff. Go ahead, Shamar. Go.
When you and Carter and I came were talking about the staff, I kind of took intuitive prompting that y'all had mentioned about the words of power, because I never thought to start saying them
Mhm.
while getting hit with the staff. So the
Mhm.
last time I started doing it, and for a second it started doing something. I
It
can't even
started doing
describe
what?
it, but that was a different feeling from any other time.
Mm.
Everything started spinning for a second.
Yeah, man, I zoned out. I went straight into meditation mode while I was getting hit with the staff, and the Orion's belt was right over me the whole time. I knew it was close, but I didn't know it had drifted like right over us while I was getting hit with that staff, and it really enhanced my psychic range, and my intuitive promptings are a lot more stronger as well. No, somebody else, you could just raise your hand, Santonio, but somebody else hit me with the staff. Somebody that's been with me for quite some time, Carter K. I used to tab bleak him. I tab bleaked him into Nawabu, and he went with me to go see the Ascended Master a few times. That gave out those words of power, and he was there to receive them. So, this time, that was my sim because he kept calling me and I kept missing him. And then he sent me all them texts. When we got on the phone, it was like, yo, he need to hit you with the stab because it was that time, right? It was that time for me to get hit with the stab. And it feel real great. I love how it's feeling. Uh the chakras in my feet are fully activated. I keep feeling the ground wobble up around me, and that's pretty much because of the Earth Star in the feet. It's fully there. Go ahead, the soul.
I was gonna say, it was really quite an alignment that I actually wasn't able to attend, because yourself how strongly I wanted to be there. But
Mhm.
with my brother's situation coming up kind of last minute, I know that that wasn't in alignment. But it was times over this weekend where in my meditations and even in my dreams, I felt a connection as if I was present in certain moments. And I got real quiet during the time that you all were traveling there, down there, and traveling home, because my dreams had gotten in my meditations and dreams had gotten real strong. So when you talk about wanting to share a testimony, while you guys were down there, I had a dream. I've had a very difficult connection with my mother in life, and I really had gotten to the point where that veneration of her had become fully heartfelt. There was no more anger or anything that, I carried with me for so long. And I had a dream that she came into my dream, and she was fully dressed in a red dress, and that her legs were covered in raggedy stockings and she was barefoot. And I was very concerned that her legs, because I know her condition upon her death had a lot to do with a lot of disease in her legs. And I was concerned that she had no shoes. And I mentioned it, and she was like, "No, it's okay. It's fine out here." And I was like, "No." And when I woke up that morning, the first thing I did was find some red stockings and a pair of shoes. And I took them over to the altar. And I realized when I started reading the note on Sekhmet, she's the lady in the red dress. I didn't figure that out until the second night when I had a dream that a lion came through a broken gate. And if the gate represented a dark forest, that was my subconscious mind, and the gate had been broken. And in the room with me was like bunnies, animals that were timid and small. And I let the lion into the room and locked the lion in the room with my fears, basically, is what the dream interpreted as. And the next day, I read about Sekhmet and the lion coming to me and her in the red dress. It felt like I got such clarity. It came through my body, like how you said, my chakras, I felt them. I felt my feet. I felt my solar plexus. I realized that the energy of Sekhmet had used my mother to test to see if my heart was truly in the right place. And when I burned that ancestor note that morning to Menon Kwak, I truly felt heard. The flames flew up and the candles that I had caught on fire at the same time. So that's my testimony. While you guys were down there together, I was still receiving the energy.
Mhm. Oh yeah, everybody receive the energy. You got that tech around your neck. You're already connected. It's everybody is. That's why I've been talking about the meditation, which I'm sure you meditate, and you could pick up on the transmissions. All of you guys have access to the transmissions that are being emitted from my altar uh, to my remote controller. You know, all of the transmissions I get from the Crystal Kingdom. Y'all all got access, especially if you got that tech around your neck. If you wear the tech, you meditating, you pretty much picking up on the transmissions, right? It's just, are you open at that level? But it's quite available to you guys. I talk about the oversoul and it making a connection with your psychic center, which is the meeting ground between the lower self and the higher self. And what's important is that we expand our vocabulary so that you could get a more sharper contract. The contrast to be sharper on what's being conveyed from these higher transmissions, i.e., if you um, say, for instance, of being a receiver, a transmission which they will interpret as a download, and they only have 1,000 words in their vocabulary versus a person that has, let's just say, 100,000 words in their vocabulary. They're going to interpret that same transmission a little bit differently than the person that got 1,000 words in their vocabulary. So it had to be limited on what's really understood or what's comprehensible by the receiver. So that's why I tell you guys to study the physical anatomy. That automatically enhances your lexicon, just studying that. Once you start to go through the words and use all of these references that I give out on a subtle level, subconsciously, is building up that database so that when that cherry pops, that connects that fiber optic network from your higher self, you will be picking up on it at a more grander scale than you were prior, right? Go ahead, Shamar. You got a question? Or Dassault, was you finished? You had something else?
No, I didn't have anything else. I'm good. Let me take my hand out.
Oh, it's all good. Go ahead, Shamari.
So let's say if you say have been how can I put this? If you've been picking, if your subconscious has been picking up on the transmission the whole time, will it and but you didn't consciously pick it up, will it at some point, like, will it administer the old ones to you so you can to catch you up, or you just will it just reveal it to you as it sees fit?
I said that last. You said, what are you talking about? The
Like,
words of power?
yeah, like the transmission, you say that we are
Okay.
constantly. So, like, how does our subconscious determine to reveal it to you? Say, if you're not conscious of, like, you're receiving them, but you're not conscious of being able to hear them or process
Yeah.
it.
See, that's the whole thing. Like the conscious mind is right here. That's the psychic center, right? So you got to be conscious of it. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
The unconscious is not conscious of it. It can't operate up there. It could think, it could access your thinking, but that's it. It can't go beyond that. Not even with you daydreaming. That's not a part of your unconscious mind. Right now, it might get impressions of it once it matriculates into the subconscious mind, which is in the abdominal. So it might get a glimpse of it on its way to being stored in your hard drive, but it doesn't have that access. That's all happens right here. That's why I say the meditation is essential. And the more knowledge, the stronger or vast your knowledge base is, the more capable your antenna becomes, right? And the more vast your lexicon and your vocabulary is, the more easier it is for you to interpret what's being relayed into the psychic center. You
Yeah.
follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, because I got somebody had sent me a telepathic signal the other day. It just kept sending me, kept sending me, kept sending it to me, kept sending it to me. I'm like, okay. So I get on the TikTok, and this is somebody that I follow, and they follow me too. But I met him on one of those pages. But he was drawing a symbol. He was doing magic with a symbol, and he wanted me to see it. And I was like, man, you could have just messaged me. This is what I was thinking. I sent a mental message back to him, like, yo, you could have just fucking messaged me to see that shit, you know. Not to say that, okay, whatever, but connect to your grandmother, my nigga. That was my response to it all, you know. Like, yo, man, that was most important, man. You've been bothering me with that shit just to see that little symbol. Come on, that ain't even an onk or nothing. Like, I get it. It's magic. I get it. Shouts out to Ricky.
So, so if it's like something, say, like promptings that would been, say, coming since like 2023, for example, if it was something for you to see or hear, but you a little too dormant to, would it catch you up on it, or would it just like fast track you to the point where you don't need to go backwards?
I don't know what you mean by that. Now, if it's something that came to you then and you missed it, then you missed that window of opportunity. And you got stuck in your cycle and loop that you was on until you cycled and looped around to it again, per se. Right. But in the case, like, let's just say people that heard about the land, at the time when the land was here. Right? I know people that knew about the land and they never went to the land. And they thought they was on some bohemian, I'm conscious, I'm a spiritual being type of shit. I'm the divine mother type of shit, if you will. And you didn't answer that call. Like the call was made. You don't know what type of alignments that you miss in that time. Same thing for people that used to be afraid to do my garage. They missed a whole bunch of shit. And then now it's gone. It's like, oh shit, I want it now. And it's like, no, that shit is gone. You should have got it while the getting was good and you didn't get up on it. So it's like, yo, man, you missed that window. Here it's coming in the form of me now. Now you gotta just take whatever aspects I've gathered and collected because I went on ahead and went through those trials or I went through those corridors. And they be like, man, I wish I done went down there on the land. Even my brother, shouts out to my brother. I got a brother that's locked up. And I took him to the land 3 times. He even got to see the doc teach. And he been locked up about 23 years now, but he be dropping that knowledge on niggas. Because at first he didn't have no knowledge of none of that. But now he like, nigga, I was actually on the land. I had the privilege to go there. And he made my garage. He ain't know what he was doing or anything, but he wasn't afraid to do it. And that's what I be talking about all the times. When you get these intuitive promptings and these windows of opportunities and these signs show up for you in your life, you have to move on that shit. Just don't look at it like, that was, no, that's your time to go ahead and take these proverbial leaps. Because if you do it and you do it, with some confidence, you don't know what you opening yourself up to. You just have no clue. That's how I was even coming out here to Texas. When I came out to Texas, I came like it took I had to stop what I was doing and take that trip. And I didn't have a lot of time to figure out if I wanted to go or not. It was like, yo, you gonna go? I ain't had to pay for the flight or nothing. And I was like, fuck it, let me go ahead and go then. I ain't gonna sit here and deliberate about it. You sit and start deliberating, you start overthinking, and that negates you from progressing or making a move. I just booked a hotel. Shouts out to Ian. I don't know if Ian's still in the room, but I'm gonna do a pop-up Q&A in Houston this upcoming weekend. That's what I was texting somebody on the phone. I'm doing upcoming pop-up shop in Houston. I just intuitively it came to me like, yo, you need to still stay on the road. I got to unpacking my stuff. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and continue this. I'm gonna go to Houston, see all the people in Houston or whatever, because I do got a lot of people there in Houston. And go set up, go do a class. I'm gonna go live with the class. Let people come out, come see the merch for everybody that's there in Houston. They got from point A to point B to get in alignment with me and get what they're gonna get and then get the fuck on. Right? But I'm gonna start making my presence known. The following week after that, I'm gonna go to Dallas. After I do Dallas, then I might come back down and do Austin. After that, I start going to other states and start really putting myself out there, passing out some flyers to the people that come to the events or just the people I meet in the hotels or whatever, and really get the name out there, really putting my proverbial boots to the ground. Right? And that's what you have to do. And to be honest with you, I prefer to do things that way. Because it's just a call to action, right? It's a call to action, and people need to align with their oversoul. That's what time that we in now. It's time to pick up on your intuitive promptings and move with some certainty. Go ahead, the soul.
Yeah, I'm going back to, I have a question going back to when you were talking about the brother reaching out to you telepathically. Is there a point for you? Because I get a lot of that, where you can tell the difference between some individual reaching out to you through them telepathically versus when you're getting transmissions, because there have been times that I just I don't know if I've stepped on my own foot, because I pick up on people telepathically that are trying to reach me who I no longer want contact with versus a transmission coming to me. How am I, is there a way to tell the difference that is kind of, a little bit more concrete than just my intuition? Is there frequency? Is there, you, I don't know.
Yeah. See, that's where knowing yourself comes into play. So let's just say, like when my Supreme Grandmaster teacher, when he comes to me on the psychic plane, I know it's him beyond beyond a shadow of a doubt. Right. And I got a few ex-girlfriends that send me a lot of, you know, freaky stuff. I don't know what the hell they be doing, but I could feel that shit too. And I know that ain't coming from my Supreme Grandmaster teacher. Right. Or it just say like the witchy warlock dude that hit me up on the TikTok trying to show me that he's psychic. Yeah, it wasn't powerful like the dot. It wasn't powerful like the Archangel Gabriel when I received a psychic impression from somebody like that. So I didn't have psychic impressions or psychic messages, you know, emailed to me. And I just use that term loosely, that I receive these psychic emails or psychic promptings at different range. And it just depends on the range of the individual and what they understand. If they're capable of doing it. Michael Beckwith, um, Sister Amori, you know, I got to get up with that sister, but she stay out there. She used to stay in Houston, but she stay out there in the Tehuacán, by them pyramids in Mexico. When I got messages from them, like those shits were so powerful, they popped up in my dream. They met me in the psychic plane, and or when I went to sleep. So you can easily tell who it's coming from or what level that they operating from if they intentionally sending out a psychic message to you. You know what I mean? But let's just say like an ex-girlfriend or somebody that's still got a hook in my aura some type of way. It's very weak. It ain't something like, oh man, I'm just thinking about you all the time. I'm not thinking about your ass at all. Even though it's like getting spam. You know what I mean? And that's how the dude was the other day that I seen on the TikTok. That shit was spamming me. And it's like, man, what the fuck is this? And I finally seen it. And after I seen it, it was like, oh, it stopped after I seen it. Like, the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
I get that, because the reason why I asked is simple. Like when I was getting my treatments with the acupuncture in the desert from uh my god brother, Witch Hazel, there's some things that I think he was with you guys down on the land before he went to work with Wu Tang and them. But when I was down there were some things where I just kind of limit my interaction with him, just simply like how you say it. I don't do Aleister Crowley. I'm
Mhm.
only moving in love and light, and I know that he will dabble in arenas that I don't want to. So he has
Mhm.
been like really sending me messages, and I finally tapped in like what. And his messages weren't really that clear, but then my nephew, his son, who I love, was like, she could hear us. And it was almost like it was a bullhorn in my head because of my love for my nephew. It was so clear. So it's like, just trying to figure out uh Is it because of possibly a dislike of a person that makes it a little bit more hazy versus a, you know, a love of a person that can make that message more clear?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of self-explanatory. Like if you're not receptive to the being, then you're not gonna be receptive to their messages. You know, some people this happened with a few people in the group, and they talk about an ex or this person's keep trying to send me these signals. Like, stop being receptive to the shit. You know what I mean? Just ignore it. You can know that it's there the whole time. It's like you ain't. It's almost like somebody calling you and you just putting your phone on silent. You know what I mean? You got to look at it that type of way. And another way to look at how to use, which I got to write this word down. Damn, I don't got no pen. There you go. There you go. My trusted pen. I call this psychic elasticity. Psychic elasticity. Elastic. Elastic.
Elasticity,
Yes, elasticity. Say it again.
psychic elasticity.
Yes, it's like a psychic elasticity.
Hmm.
Elasticity.
Yep.
So you see, you familiar with uh what's this nigga name? Green Lantern. You know the Green Lantern?
My dude.
Okay, you see how he can make stuff out of his ring?
Hmm.
And you know, one time the Justice League, they was fighting the the, the Legion of Doom or whatever, and the little lady they could turn into a cat and shit. You know, she like a sister and shit. That shit was racist as hell. It was an old virgin, but his hand turned into like a pimp hand and smacked the shit out of her ass. I was like, that was racist as hell, man.
I
Why this
remember
shit?
that.
This shit turned into a hand. But my whole thing is you can make it whatever you want to, like, to block the person. You know, I had to do that to somebody, and it was real weird, you know, because the chick just kept. I didn't even know that she was fucking with me like that, and the girl that came and told me, uh, I was at a strip club. It wasn't nobody in there. It was real, like it was real desolate, but I was compelled to stay there anyway. And the girl came up to me and was like, uh, she was reading my fucking mind. And I was like, yo, how the fuck you do that? And she was like, you caught that? I said, yeah. She was like, I'll talk to you in a minute. Kind of find out she like a little tarot reader or whatever. She said she needed to do a tarot reading with me. She had a dream about me the night before. She knew I was gonna be there at that time. I'd have seen this girl before, but I just never crossed her path. And she said that somebody was projecting some sex magic on me, and they've been doing it for years. Like this shit been going on a long ass time, and I had no clue of it. And come to find out, the girl that was doing it was somebody I used to see, and this girl happened to have the same exact birthday as this girl too. And it was just wild. You know, she charged me for a reading. I did a little reading with her, and it was quite unveiling what she had to tell me. But I I tend to listen to my first mind. I tell you guys that all the time. And my first mind told me it was like this time right now. You know, it's not a time to be in a gentleman club or nothing like that. But I went on in there anyway, and there wasn't nobody in there, and I still sat on in there. And that girl, she had just came on to her shift, and it was just weird. But all of that stuff happened. I went to work that night, and she did the reading on me right then, and all of that stuff just came out in alignment. So, but I wasn't thinking about that girl like that. I really wasn't. And she told me like, "Yo, that shit ain't having no effect on you." But she was like, she been doing it for so long, that it needed to be brought to my attention that that's what she was doing. It wasn't that it was having an effect on me, but that's just like, yo, whatever. I ain't even thinking about that, bro. I ain't even really think about her until all of this stuff just came up now. But it's like, yo, like whatever, you know, out of sight, out of mind. If you allow, remember I told you guys, your energy flows where your attention goes. So if you putting your attention, if you leaving yourself receptive to something, then it can happen. Just like with people being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being attacked. I'm under spiritual attack and somebody fucking with me. If you receptive to being fucked with, then it's gonna happen to you. Don't be receptive to that. You know what I mean? Block that shit out. Pull out your green lantern thing and put up a big ass vault, right? Put up an iron vault to block that shit, and then it won't get to you. Find something else to think about. It ain't something that you did to somebody. So it's like, as far as like, let's say you done bludgeon somebody with a hammer. Of course, that's gonna lower in your consciousness. But somebody that's trying to remotely send something to you, man, you can block that shit. That's why I put what I put inside the dream tech, right? And all you really gotta, not in the dream tech, just in all the tech, period. That's more than enough stuff to thwart any negative attack, even a psychic attack that's done by your own being. You know what I mean? It stopped the negative inner dialogue that you might acquire from your own volition, under your own volition. So it's just trusting in what's going on, you guys. And I'm telling you, I've been on this shit for 29 years. Y'all had no idea how distracted and detracted I've been from just putting together an organite medallion. I was up there. I don't want to say romanticize it, but me and this piece got a nice little, it's connected to me in a real beautiful way. And it was taking me back through the memory of when I first started building medallions and how effective I was at building the medallions. And I was like, damn, can I still do that now? I was like, hell yeah, you doing it now. It's just the fact that look at where you started with it. Cause I was just going layering back over the information with the crystals and stuff like that. And it was just taking me through that memory. And that was, I want to say it was some of my best work, but it's not. Now that I'm going into the ultra level, because all the tech that I got right now, after this year or after it's all gone, that's going to be that. So that's the segue back into Shamari's question about something that happened then and can you get it later? You got to get what you can get right now because it might not be no later for that. I could already see somebody coming to me now like, oh, man, buy Rudy order. Like, no, those shit's all gone. Oh, you're not going to make no more? Nope. And it ain't that I don't want to make no more. It's just that the being that I get particular crystals from, they might go out of business. And in fact, 3 or 4 of them then already went out of business. And I was like, damn, I guess I can't do that no more. Certain molds, if I don't learn how to do these molds soon, I'm gonna be limited to the type of molds that I could use. So like when those windows of opportunities or whenever something of progression or benefit pops up for you, or you got to take advantage of those windows of opportunity because once it closes, then the cycle and loop that you didn't adhere to, remember existence is co-conspiring with you. It's gonna be like, all right, cool, bet you cool with this shit. All right, the fuck, it's gonna start bending the reality, your reality around your thoughts, words, and actions, right? But you had to be on the good foot. I had three venues that I called this morning, right? And they was all suggestions. And all 3 of them tried to finesse me. I was like, no, I don't want to be finessed. Let me find somebody that's not going to finesse me. And I told the AI, I said, hey, I'm not looking to be finessed. I don't want nobody that's trying to get a fast one over on me. I need the best, somebody that's gonna be willing to work with me. And sure enough, I found the motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. But you gotta trust, and you can't be just thinking about it all the damn time. Like, not to say not to think over things, but not to be not analyze, but don't overanalyze shit. You come to that shit, you got Hirokuti with you. Stamp it. Let's go. Let's run it. All right. And the dude I talked to, he was like, "Yeah, man." He was trying to hustle me down. You know what I mean? Like, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna drop it a little bit for you." He's like, "Hey, you want to get a room here too?" I said, "Hell yeah, I want a room. You gonna hook me up?" He's like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "There it is." You see what I'm saying? It's just knowing what you want. Don't go into shit like I hit up DI. D tell you, I just hit DI's up. Like, "Yo, D, you think you can hook up the little what's the name?" She was like, no, you, and I knew she had to be there. I already knew that, D. I was just seeing the probability, like just see anyway. So I put the energy out there already what I wanted. And sure enough, the sure as shit stink. All that stuff came right into alignment for me, and bam, hit the nail right on the fucking head. you know. And I'll be there this weekend. Then I plan on doing Dallas. Then I'm gonna do Austin. Uh Shit, I might even do a whole nother one in San Antonio. And then I might do another one in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Just and go to Alabama. Like, I like to be out on the road like that. I used to be out on the road like that. But I know that it's being called for me to get out there and spread and put stuff out there, um, and push the brand. Push the brand. Because my next move, as I told you guys, is really working towards those pillows. Need to get the pillow out there. And he said the 1089 road trip. Oh yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, 1089 road trip. Ani is beeping in here. Yeah. So yeah, just really, really start getting out there and allowing people in these different cities to come out there and see me and to interact in real time. I know everybody don't have the wherewithal to get out like they want to. But like I said, a lot of information, it don't even be meant for the internet. It's meant to be from out the ear, and I get a better interpretation uh on where you're vibrating at when I could see you in person. You know what I mean? I know exactly what to go over. Because your oversoul is right there with my oversoul, and it creates that chord. And I know exactly how to articulate myself to where you will be able to grasp what I'm saying, right? Or I pick up on the messages from your dearly departed if you're in close proximity of me, right? I'm automatically hit. I'm gonna hit the proverbial uh nail on the head. Right. But people do need to get that tech around their neck. The as we go into the ultra and we go into ultraviolet, because that's what Dream Tech Ultra, Lord of Labradorite, it's the ultra version. Everything that I got left right now it's not all ultra. This ultra shit is going to increase your focus, your discipline, overcoming your fears, your anxieties, um, strengthening third eye activity, You know what I mean? So it's no osmosis shit. It's all straight action, straight doing. Your capabilities will be vetted out, and you will have to prove it to yourself, right? You had to prove it. And the first one I'm doing is the labradorite. I think I got one more because these stones is pretty pricey. This person that I'm dealing with, and I gotta find something to do with my time because that shit coming all the way from India. These crystals, they specially polished and they worked over, and they put a lot of effort into these crystals. I know y'all seen that in the Lord of the Labradorite pieces, and you could kind of see it in this one. Yeah, I'm bringing merchandise to Houston. I'm gonna have everything with me. I'm gonna have everything with me. Yep. In fact, everything already ready. I just got to sign the deal, but that'll be Saturday. I'll be there Saturday morning. Okay, I see you, LaBelle. I'll call you after we come off of here. But yeah, that Saturday morning, I'm gonna do my best to make it to the park first. Get charged for the people that want to. Okay. What time you get off? Just text me. Text me what time is a good time to call you. If not, I 8 o'clock. Yeah, I just text you. And you can call me when you get off of work. All right. But yeah, so yeah, that Saturday we're gonna get out there. I want to say it's called Herman Park. Get out there to Herman Park, project some hickers, get grounded, you know. And all my AAA people like Thassa, and I don't know if Ian Gilmore's still in here. I seen Ian in here earlier. But all my AAA people, y'all come out. I'm gonna hit y'all with the staff, and y'all could come to the event. Yeah, this weekend, the 21st. Like it's a done data. It's already stamped. I done talked to my man and everything. Right in the city too. We're gonna be right outside of 610. Right outside the 610 or whatever that freeway is. Right by North Mall Galleria. She said she don't call. She gonna figure it out. Yeah, we gonna be there to 7. I gotta talk back to him. He working some shit out for me, And so we gonna be there. I'm gonna go live for a minute, and then as the people come in, I'll come out the live, right? But that's gonna be in Houston. So all the people that's in the Houston area, I will go live on TikTok and every day this week and let everybody know about Houston. But it's just gonna be some pop-up shit. And I'm definitely gonna go to Dallas because I want to check out their Jeju. So I'm gonna go up there and check out the Jeju doing some recon for November. You hear me? And make sure everything right because November I haven't named it yet, but we're gonna take all of the spiritual app seminars, integrate them into one, and close the vault on the spiritual app, right? Gonna close the vault on it, and that'll be it. See, they got similar in Houston. Yeah, but I don't need similar. I need Jeju. It gotta be Jeju, baby. I still feel the Jeju. I don't know about y'all, the rest of y'all that was there this time, but I still feel the Jeju on me. It's still on me. I'm like, damn, I still feel that shit. It feel good. That's why I've been wanting to go to sleep, man. Like, I can't help it, y'all. It's something with that staff too. The staff did a lot for me. He said it has everything, Jeju. Okay, well, send me the link. Let me check it out. Let me be the judge of that. I don't mind looking at it. He said he's gonna try his best to make it to July. Yeah, if you want to be there, you're gonna be there. We doing a AAA in July. That's gonna be the Ultra Activation workshop. All the people in the AAA, y'all know y'all don't have to pay for that event. You know, if you guys want to attend, you're more than welcome to attend. You still can and will benefit from the presentation. Then we got the Lionsgate portal on August the 8th. Don't forget that. If you guys have already been a part of that, I think the Lionsgate portal is still open. But if you're not added into that room, let me know and I will add you into the room. Everybody that took the Lionsgate portal, that will be coming up again. And on August the 8th, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's the times that we'll do the presentation and go over it again. Okay. Gone. No shit. Here they go with this luxury shit. That's that bullshit. No disrespect to you. Okay, it ain't too bad. Okay. I don't see the what's the names there. Got a question? Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Trenton. Okay, they do got the little spots in there. Okay.
Not to interrupt. I was just gonna ask. So, what are the requirements to be able to get into the Lionsgate portal group? If that's all right.
Yeah, you just gotta purchase the ticket to come into the Lionsgate portal. That's it. Once you pay for it once, every year when we do it, you ain't gotta pay it again. You know, if you want a refresher course or everything to just be there. But this is, I don't know if you're familiar with rituals or if you have any rituals that you've integrated into your life, but these are a few that you can add into your arsenal from here on out. And it definitely help with your manifestations and your materializations.
Okay, and then I just had one more thing as well. I'm gonna take a second so I can remember what I was gonna ask. But if there's anybody else that has a question, please go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead and ask your question, man. Why are you on the mic?
I was gonna say I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say for the July, I bought an altar not too long ago. I don't know if you recall, but as well, the other thing I was gonna ask, so with the altar activation workshop, right? You said that you're going over all the stuff on how to like activate it correctly, and then with the Lionsgate portal, yeah. I was gonna say I've done it before, but I don't know if I was doing it correctly. So I was just gonna ask for some guidance or correct movement, if you will,
For the Lionsgate portal?
Yeah.
You took the Lionsgate portal before?
No, I mean like I was aware of the date, like there have been people talking about it, but just not knowing if I'm doing it correctly, to support the.
Yeah. See, like what we're doing is it's a webinar. And we go over certain things, the symbolisms of the Lionsgate portal and everything it represents. You know, I may unveil another layer, but also we got certain rituals that we do for the Lionsgate portal, right? So I show people this at 8 a.m. So you know, you would know it for 8 p.m., right? And the Lion Gate portal, it stays open. Those rituals is good. I want to say to 11:11 that night. So you will learn the ritual, do the ritual, perform it, and you can keep on doing it thereafter, leading all the way up to the next one. If you don't have an altar now, you have an altar in play. You know, the energy was very high for the last one. Very impactful. And what's starting to happen right now, you guys, everybody that took the Lionsgate portal last year, and I will put it back up on the website. I had to take the other stuff down, but I will put it up there. So what's going to happen is everyone, pretty much everybody that's in AAA space, all our altars are connected. You know, our network is working symmetrically in tandem. And when you do that, the candle rituals that I got, all of that stuff get integrated as well. And I mean, you could feel the effects of it, and you would definitely know where you are within the stages of the evolution within our community, and just with yourself, where you at with it. You know, all of that'll be unveiled. But it's a definite, you know, it's a definite must have in your arsenal, especially if you don't have any set rituals outside of shit shower and shaving. This is an excellent entry level introduction into ritual. And it definitely got a great timestamp to go off of with the triple eights. And this year is going to be even more because it's 2026. And y'all know that segment and 2 and 6 is 8. So that's a whole nother 8 right there. So think about it like that. Yeah.
I was just
Go
meaning
ahead.
to. Oh, sorry, my
Mhm.
apologies. I
Go
was
ahead.
say, meaning to and I've said this before. I've just been making sure I'm moving in correction, if you will. And so I'm meaning to make it to the July seminar, so that way I can go over while I'm there with you, the altar activation in the correct way, so that way I'm not misinforming anybody or misunderstanding anything myself personally. Yeah, but
Yeah, you
other
definitely gonna get it at that. And that's if you come to the AAA, hey, you about to be on point. I'm
yeah,
just giving you that heads up.
gratitude. The other thing that I was gonna say is that I was meaning to talk to you personally uh, in regards to a couple of things that have been going on. So I was just curious when you get a chance, if we could talk, if that's all right. I don't mean to take up too much of your time or anything like that, but that's really about it.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, just leave your number, man. I told you that yesterday. Yeah, leave your number and I'll
Okay.
talk to you briefly, okay?
Yeah, no worries. I was gonna say I ended up messaging you on personally on TikTok just so that way we could go from there. But I just didn't want to cut into anything that you had going on.
Okay, yeah. Message me here. Message me on the Google chat. 'Cause I got 100 and something notifications on TikTok.
I see. Yeah.
And yeah, hit me here, man. You outside that range. Don't
Yeah.
confine yourself to TikTok. You make it to this side. Don't go back to TikTok trying to communicate with me.
Yeah. Meaning about like just going about things in the correct manner. But yeah, I got you. Thank you. Gratitude.
You welcome, loved one. Go ahead, Shamari. I ain't even see your hand up there. Go ahead, question there.
It's good. I just wanted to ask your opinions on coral because I might have miss seen it, but I don't think I saw it on the website. I may gotta check again. But
No,
when
I
I
don't
tried,
have the red coral up there. I don't got
okay,
red coral up there.
the that crystal book that the one with all the stones,
The
the
Book of
crystal
Stones.
encyclopedia, it's in there, but it's not a lot on red coral. So that's why I was wondering if you could get some more insight on it.
Yeah, red coral. Let's do it together. Uh, yeah, that's something I wanted to take the time to do too. is add all of these things in here because there's certain stuff that they don't have up there, and they don't have in these books either. Red coral.
Honestly, her book was the only thing I found that had red coral. She just got a small excerpt, but it's enough. But I just want this. Wow, the Crystal Bible don't have them at all. I done went through all three of them. I even found the other name of it. I think it's called Munga. I still ain't.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. See, I got access to the Crystal Kingdom, so it's certain crystals like people you just don't even know about. Like, damn, how the hell you find that? And it's like, yo, okay, here it is. We'll read it together. Red coral is more than a stunning gemstone. It's a powerful symbol of vitality, protection, and prosperity. Right? From what I know, before I finish reading on, it deals with it's red, so it's dealing with the root chakra, right? It's putting everything. It adds the necessary. Why is it doing that? I'm getting that. Like it's my turn type of energy. All right.
Oh,
It's making you not shrink, like how the brother Trenton there, he was trying to shrink himself. I'm like, no, man, shit, you in the tech space, just private message me. You ain't gotta, I'm gonna just message you on TikTok. There's about 100 motherfuckers messaging me on TikTok right now. And 70% of them just sharing a damn video, sharing somebody live, and it ain't even they live. It's like, damn, man. Just message me here. Don't shrink yourself. But red coral takes you out of that. And here it says, whether you're drawn to its deep crimson hues or its metaphysical properties, red coral has fascinated cultures for centuries. In this guide, we'll explore its meaning and how you can incorporate it into your life. Let's just get to the nitty-gritty. Red coral has been revered across cultures for its protective and life-giving energy. Here is what it symbolizes. According to the ancient Romans and Greeks, they wore red coral as an amulet to ward off evil spirits and misfortune. Vitality associated with blood and life force is believed to boost energy and physical strength. In Hindu and Tibetan traditions, red coral attracts wealth and success. Emotional balance is said to calm anger and promote courage in difficult situations. Right? Them the symbolisms. This damn site is a mess. They just give you different little sayings on the red coral. And my computer is freezing up bad with this janky ass site. I picked the wrong site to come on. This shit got all type of little. Hold on a second. Got angel numbers up there. Stop sharing. Yeah, just had to stop sharing that shit. This is doing way too much.
do know it vibrates on the number 4.
Yeah, say Aries, Scorpio, Pisces. Its hardness is 3.5 to 4 on the mole scale. So it's kind of soft. As you could physical benefits, supports blood circulation and heart health, aids in bone strength. It boosts metabolism and reproductive health. Emotionally, it encourages passion, motivation, and creativity. helps overcome fear and anxiety. And it has intuition and spiritual grounding. See what it say best used for boosting confidence, attracting prosperity, and enhancing physical stamina. So I remember when I was first introduced to it that it kind of put me on that frequency of, you know, it just gave me that type of that energy, like, you know, it's my turn. I like how everybody get a turn to go. That's the best way I interpret it, just from my own interpretation, is that hey, it's my turn. You know what I mean? That's the type of energy that red coral gives you. And when you feel that prompting, don't deny it. Like I told you, listen to your first mind more. Stop listening to your unconscious mind. That's the second guesser. That's the doubter. We used to listening to that aspect of ourselves. But the first mind be like, man, have at it. Fuck that. Right? And that's what I'm telling you now. Because you got that red coral, don't you?
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah, you got red coral. That got carnelian in it.
And the red
Red
jasper.
and the red jasper. So you good. You shouldn't have no anxieties. You shouldn't have no worries or no doubts when it comes to everything in that end of the spectrum. Everything is a go for you.
Gratitude, Doc. I
Right.
feel it working. Thank you.
Hey, you welcome. It's wild. Another brother I gave that piece to, he a little bit more in tune than you is. He was like, damn, man. He's like, damn, Boomba, I'm feeling this shit already. What the fuck is this thing? First he put it around his neck. And while we was sitting there and shit, he like crack his little jokes and shit. And he was like, whoa, hold on a second, man. Hey, yo, fuck in this thing, man. I'm feeling this shit already, man. Like, yeah, that shit work. It's like, yo, man, this all right. I needed this. He needed it because he started calming down and shit. This dude just be on a natural high. 20. Shouts out to my brother Ramiz. Ramiz is on a natural high. He don't smoke nothing. He don't drink nothing. He be like, yo, man, what's up with your man? Like, yo, that's just how he is, right? Perpetual joke teller. He got punchline at the punchline for you. And that's just the way that he is. But he put that tech around his neck. That shit ground the shit out his ass. He started calming down and shit. He ain't had too many jokes to tell. He was talking highly intelligent, but he just does that socially. But man, he's like, man, what the fuck you done put in this thing, man? I can feel this shit. He's like, what the hell is this? And Shamari, I put Shamari on the phone with him. And that's just the way the tech work. While he was talking to you, Shamari, about your sister, he had he had that tech around his neck. And then later, when I seen you at the park that day, you chose that same piece. That was wild. I can't make stuff like this up, you guys. Like, it just shows you the degree of alignments, the symmetrical alignments of the connections. Just him talking to him, man. He ain't know this nigga from Adam. But I just put him on the phone with him because we was on the way to the park, right? I was like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. But since I had Ramiz right there and I put you on the phone or whatever, and that's just the way that it go, man. See, crystals remember you from prior lifetimes. It remembers your energetic signature. That's why some of y'all be drawn to these crystals the way that you are, because you was working with it in a prior lifetime. And now you just in this lifetime and you working with it. That's what makes you a crystal child. They say the crystal children. Go ahead, the soul.
Okay, so when I was in Egypt, I went and I was gifted a necklace by a really old dude. He said he was 108 and he was spry as shit. But I was at the Isle of Isis, and the necklace that he gave to me was, I wish I could show it to you. It's a very, very, very pale, clear blue, and it was called the Tears of the Nile. I was wondering if you, because I haven't been able to find it underneath those terms anywhere.
Look, do you have it there with you now?
I do.
Yeah, let me see it.
Should I
It
just
might.
take a picture and send it?
No, just turn your video on.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hold on one second.
That's that water went down on one pipe. I'm hoping
Let
it's
me
the
turn the camera.
Ethiopian
Let me
cocoa.
turn the camera around. Here, can you see it that way? It's easier.
Mm-hmm. Let me see there.
Do I need to get it closer? What you're seeing is
Uh,
some of the epoxy, some of that white that's on it, and I know they need cleaning. So,
mm. Now that might be Ethiopian opal. It might be that. Then it looked like a special type of quartz that I got as well, rainbow quartz. But
mhm.
not saying that that's rainbow quartz. I don't know. What you think, D? It look kind of like fluorite too. Kind of look like fluorite. What you think, Dee? Dee, you did, she probably doing something.
Yeah, I'll turn my camera off now.
I got my hands full cooking.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, that's what that
Oh,
might be.
one more question. I'm gonna turn the camera right back on real quick.
Okay.
Um, these are the different pyramids that I brought back with me. I believe that they're all I know this one is alabaster, and the green scarab was a handmade one. But is alabaster, do you know anything about the properties of alabaster?
Yeah, I don't know it by heart, but alabaster is it's like a type of limestone.
Hmm.
They use that to keep their crystals and their jewelry in. They would make certain sawaswatis or baswatis, which are like little figurines and stuff like that, with the alabaster. And it also said to be able to uh, use it as a recording mechanism, the same way that they would use, Lemurian quartz. You know what I mean? It's like a recorder. They could store information into the alabaster, sort of like with orgone as well. You know what I mean? That's why I like messing with the orgone so much, because I could project a lot of energy into it. But I don't know nothing outside of the range of what's already written about the alabaster. But just like onyx, it's very good for uh, using it to draw your sigils, rather that's into a candle or rather that's scrying it into the ground or whatever. Um, Very excellent in those regards. But outside of what's written about the alabaster, I haven't seen nothing to date that, you know, it's pretty much the same standard information all the way around. It is like a stone. I know it's very, indigenous to that area of the world. And that's about it. But I'm not well versed on the alabaster at that level. Outside of the range, like I said, it was what's already written about it.
Real quick, does it just, I'm hearing that, does it have anything to do with the deity Vast because it has the name in it?
Yeah, I mean, that's something to look into, right? But yeah, Alabaster is it's like a creamy white, silicate.
Yeah, we went to the original place where it's a quarry where they mine it
Mhm.
all, and it's been sitting there for thousands and thousands of years. The workers of it literally all live around it. On the weather is the way it is, so they're not even housed. They're like
Just out
out
in
on
tents
these
and shit.
they're out on these beds and everything, and then they mine it, and then they put it into like this big giant, I mean like swimming pool sized heating element type thing that they melt it all down into, and then they create it. And we were getting so much information at one time, like, hey, my brain is big, but sometimes, so it was
Mhm.
just like trying to remember the properties of, because I want to be able to use it more. And I'm attuned. I hit the Crystal Kingdom back in 2016, so I'm attuned. But at the same time, I'm just wondering if there was more that, if I know and I'm conscious of it, I could begin to manipulate. So
Yeah, it don't really list on properties. Um, from what I understood from it, because I've looked up on the alabaster several times before, and what they were saying was it's a good, it's like it's a good thing to hold your crystals in, right? Say like a crystal like this. Shouts out to DIs. I forgot what this is called, but she gifted this to me on my birthday. I would put this in alabaster. Like if I had an alabaster container, this would go in the alabaster. You know what I'm saying? Where its energy could stay, just isolated amongst itself. That's what I would use it for, based on what I read and understood about alabaster. You know, say like my
that makes
tech piece.
sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense because I don't know if you noticed, but it just happened kind of recently within the last couple of weeks. My crystals have been telling me to put them next to those alabaster pieces. And now, as we're talking, I did just get a recollection of the guy who ran the actual place where they make the different alabasters. He was saying that they use them in the temples of, when the departed were being mummified and the families would come, though that they actually did some sort of work to imbue physical properties or hikas, hikas into the alabaster
mhm.
for, I think he said protection, but I might have to meditate and try to pull that back out
Yeah.
again. But
And they used to put a lot of the organs in the canopic jars, and they was made out of alabaster as well.
there we go. Yep, that's what he said. That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
put the crystals in there. You know, that's what I was prompted to do, and I had found one, and I was in California. That shit was like $345. I was like, shit. I put that motherfucker back. It was a small little cute box. Like I take my raw stones and just put them inside of an alabaster container that kind of isolates its vibration and
You said
confines
how
it.
much?
Three hundred
How
and
much?
forty-five dollars.
Do you know I got those three blue ones for literally $15
Yeah,
American?
yeah. But see, the way that it was built, like somebody shaped it that way, and it had a top on it. You know
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah, because those are completely solid all the way through. There's no hollowness in them. Those are just pure solid pyramids. So now my question, in working with pyramids,
Mhm.
can I utilize those alabaster pyramids in the same manner
Mhm.
as the organites?
Yes. You can use it in the sense to where it will amplify your antenna, right?
Hmm.
Just having the pyramid shape itself. You could take that pyramid and stick it on top of a book, stick it on top of your notes, sit it in front of you, and just meditate on what you done wrote in your notes, or if you want to access some information, and you could pick it up intuitively, or you could just open up the book. You will turn right to the page of what you're looking for. Um, that's a very high effective technique I've been using for years, as far as utilizing pyramids. Rather it's an organite pyramid or just a regular pyramid. Being around it will amplify your thoughts, your words, and your actions, and it will strengthen your antenna to receive transmissions as well. So in those regards, it's still highly applicable, you know, uh, as far as your range of perceptions are concerned, when being in proximity of a pyramid, you know.
I got one more question off of that.
Mhm.
I've had this gift as a child and it's gotten stronger with my awareness of it. But I can literally say somebody's got a giant bookshelf full of books and they tell me there's a certain book they want me to get. I can feel where that book is on the shelf. And
Mhm.
I've always been able to do it, pyramid or not.
Mhm.
And I can touch that book and absorb the knowledge within it. What is the actual name of that ability?
Yeah, that's called psychometry. That's one of the four higher senses: intuition, telepathy, clairvoyance, and psychometry.
That's one of the reasons why I'm able to learn so many things, but at the same time, it's kind of why getting all of this information from you through the laptops is a problem. And I have to literally translate everything out from off the page out from off the computer into pages for me. It helps me more than when I'm learning it from the
Mhm.
laptop.
I understand. Yeah, we working on that. I gotta find a printing press, but that's coming soon too. But yeah, you
Uh,
didn't tap into your psychometry. Uh, you know, keep working on that. You know,
Can I ask one more? I see you, Shamari, but can I ask one more? I
Right.
have a piece of hematite that is not the normal color of hematite, and it's shaped like it's six-sided and it goes up to a point at the top like a cone, but it's six-sided all the way up until it gets to the very top, and it's called golden hematite. Do you have any knowledge of if there's a difference on that hematite from the normal gray hematite?
I don't know. Somebody bought some at the last seminar. I want to say Mother Edinburgh, or I seen Shamari had some of that in his hand. I don't know. I'm almost sure it does the same thing as the as the regular one. Yeah, see, I had to look into that. It's a book called The Book of Stones. I highly recommend you guys get that. The Book of Stones. It might be about $30 on Amazon, but it's quite thick. Shamari, go ahead, Shamari.
When it comes to the abilities like psychometry and telekinesis, can they you like unconsciously combine them when doing certain things? Like
Again, when you on the unconscious level, that means you're not even aware that you're doing it. So
it would be unconscious. Okay.
you want to get everything right here. That's why I be showing y'all that map with the conscious mind here, the unconscious mind is here, and the subconscious mind is in the bosom. So as you go through these three compartments, right here is where you have autonomy over what's happening. You know, the best way I could get is like a person that could push the Coke can across the table. You know, they be pushing little pieces of aluminum foil and shit like that. That takes concentration. That you have to be conscious of what you're doing. You can't do that on an unconscious level.
Okay. I ask because I notice when I sometimes when it comes to working on a car, just sometimes I can feel what's wrong, and then once I feel it, sometimes I can see it. Like I can be driving the car, I can feel exactly what part in the car is going wrong, or I can hear it. Sometimes the different senses I can pick it up. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, that's your intuition and your clairvoyance working in tandem.
Okay. Okay, I see what I see. I can use my career to strengthen that connection. I'm gonna work on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions? Y'all all familiar with the moon magic? Yeah, go ahead, D. Go ahead, DD.
Doc, that stone is Argonite.
Argonite?
Argonite. And
Hey,
Shamari, do you still need audios from me? Because I've been super busy. But if you need them, I can send them to you today.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
will. Yo, peace and love.
thank you, D. D be trying to do every damn thing.
I don't try, I do.
There you go. All right now, D. D the doer. D is the doer. That's my ride or die right there. D be driving her ass off, man. All right. So anybody else? Any other questions? Questions or concern? All right, we're gonna be in Houston this weekend. You guys welcome to join me in Houston. The seating gonna be limited for the event, but pretty much I just be going to set up, really trying to get, not trying, but getting rid of some of this inventory because I'm about to start working on this new ultra dark matter, and I'm telling you, meditation is the key, you guys. That's all I can say about it now because I'm trusting this little joker. And this was just a prototype. This is one of my prototypes. You know, only a few people have it. You know, shouts out to what's her name, Beverly Jones, Dia Eyes. That fluorite you got that dark matter mix on it. And I want Ricky. Oh, you know Ricky got him one. Ricky too. You know, but those are three people that have access to the ultra mix. I will be taking things to an ultra level so that people could, I want to see what you got. I want to see what you're working with. But we will have clarity. We're gonna bring this shit out in this great day of time. You know, like I said, I'm here to bring out that lion in you, man. I'm here to bring it out. And wait till we get to the level where I'm doing it. Because it's already working against the radiation and the cell phone radiation. We about to amplify the levels of that and really put the chin check this shit. All right. So I'm gonna get off of here for now. I gotta check in with these people at this hotel, and I'm gonna do my best to get me a TikTok in now that once I finish this and get this show on the road. All right, y'all. So y'all got nothing else? We're gonna get on up out of here. See you guys later. What matter?
Cool.
Well,
Who?